reporting to y'all live from the freaking where we at, Kimmy? We're in the car rider line, picking up the kids. Come on, let me draw your fish real quick. Come here. Let me see.
Okay.
Where's the thing? So listen, y'all. I wanted to hop on really quickly to talk about how we are to prepare for the spring equinox right now. Okay, how we are to prepare for the spring equinox right now. Um, last year, let me see. Let me see what's happening here.
Press the OK button when you finish
That's
your drawing.
cute. Let me see. I don't know. Is it live? Is it private? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all are in here before I keep going. Welcome to this random live stream while I'm in the car rider line picking up the kids. I usually am never the person to pick up the kids. Yay! Look, Dream is here. Hey, babe. I wanted to go live really quickly to talk about how we are going to prepare for the spring equinox right now. Right? Um, you say hey, Kimmy?
Hey.
So,
See you next time.
so this is a quick little download, quick little channel that I received last night, right? Where Spirit was basically saying it is so important for us right now to go ahead and in our minds and our hearts and our spirits, let's go ahead and prepare what our spiritual work and what our rituals are going to be like for this entire year, right? The actual new year, okay? Yes, we know society at large celebrates January as the new year, but we know spring is really symbolic of rebirth, of new life, of new manifestations. And so I received the download from my own personal life that it's important that we develop a discipline. It's important that we go ahead and write out the work that we plan on doing starting from the spring equinox all the way up until we get back to this time of year, 2026. Okay. And so this is important, right? This is important because so often we're just going through life and we're not actually doing the work that is required of us in order for us to truly evolve and become who we're meant to be, right? And do the things that we are meant to do, accomplish the goals and the manifestations that we are meant to accomplish. And so basically, I was laying in the bed last night and Spirit was just like, "What you about to do?" Spirit was just like, "What work are you going to dedicate yourself to consistently?" And my first time of thinking about my spiritual practice and my spiritual work like that, Kim, girl, my first time of actually thinking about my spiritual work in this way was last year. Last year, every month, I did some sort of fast, whether it was literally fasting from food or fasting from social media or fasting from talking to certain people. I did some sort of fast, some sort of spiritual work, something very intentional. And doing that for the entire year unlocked next levels of consciousness for me, right? I was able to really overcome a lot of different things and unconscious blockages, unconscious triggers, shit that I didn't even know that I was battling with, right? Was able to come up to the surface and I was able to do my work and I was able to grow, heal, and evolve, right? And so I was just charged with this energy last night that was like, okay, what you gonna do this year? Got to keep that same energy, got to keep that same frequency of consistency when it comes to this work. And it's not to say that there's always something that we need to heal or there's always something that we need to transform, right? But like being deliberate about our consciousness and being deliberate about the ways in which we desire to grow, that has to be, you know, something that we do. Right, Kimmy?
Right.
Right. So I just wanted to ask y'all, What have y'all been doing thus far already? Okay. I've been fasting once a week. I started doing that in January, right? And now Spirit is just like, okay, what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do moving forward? And peace to y'all that are coming in here that are the family and that are not robots, right? Peace to y'all. Hey, happy Friday. Listen, I'm game planning. I'm game planning my work right now. So, like for the month of March, I'm going to be focusing on mantras and movement. It's so important that we incorporate our physical bodies in our spiritual work. Everything is not mental. Like some things that we do needs to involve the spiritual body, because the fact of the matter is that our physical body is keeping the score. The traumas we experience, right? The pleasure we experience, the beliefs that are unconscious, they are alive and well in different parts of our body. So when we exercise, when we do yoga, ma'am, when we do yoga, when we fast, when we exercise, when we are intentional about that work, we unlock certain things physically, but also spiritually. And so for the month of March, I'm going to be tapping into movement and mantras, meaning as I'm exercising, instead of like listening to music, as I'm exercising, instead of focusing on, I don't know, something outside of myself, my plan is to recite some mantras, recite some affirmations. I'm debating on how I'm going to do it, whether I'm going to actually record some mantras or what do we call it? Auto suggestion, and just listen to that as I exercise or walk or do yoga, or if I'm just going to repeat it in my head. This is so powerful because we're doing two things at one time, right? And so as we're moving our bodies and we're saying these affirmations or we're listening to these powerful words, those words are entering into our bodies, entering into our field essentially, and it's changing things inside of us. Let me see what butterfly purpose. I saw this today about Pilates making you cry when you stretch out the hips. Exactly. That has absolutely happened to me before. I remember the first time I started getting serious about yoga, right? I was in child's pose and I just had my head down on the ground. I had my arms back. Child's pose is one of the most humble poses. It really brings you a lot of humility being in child's pose, right? Really takes you back to that inner child. And I remember being in child's pose and I just started crying. And I had no conscious awareness of what is actually making me cry. Like, I wasn't thinking any specific thoughts. I wasn't listening to anything specific, but literally tears started to fall down my eyes. And so when we position our bodies in certain ways, it like opens up certain channels, certain unconscious physical communication, right? So basically, my body was communicating something to me that my conscious mind was not aware of, but my body was aware of it. Kim folks, you really just want to, here, I made you a, she said make her a fish, baby. I did my best. Okay, I made you a fish. Go.
Oh.
So basically, my physical body was aware of something that my mind wasn't aware of consciously. And so when I got in that pose, some of that awareness and some of that emotion started to rise to the top, which brought forth tears. And sometimes we don't have to know why or where it's coming from. But the experience in itself has the ability to like open some shit up, wake some stuff up, heal something. Just being in the experience and being present with it is enough. And so like for me, I'm like, yeah, I want more of those experiences right now. Like throughout the month of March, movement, manifestation. I wasn't even thinking about manifestation, but I guess I will throw that in there as well. So movement, mantras, meditation, manifestation, all the words. I'm gonna be tapping into in the month of March, and I'm gonna bring y'all along with me. So like, I'll record some stuff, post some stuff, keep y'all updated on how it's going. But all in all, Spirit was just like, let's think about our disciplines and our practices for the year, right? So like uh I don't know how I'm saying this name. Yo Shannon. Ooh, Yo Shannon. I think I said that right. She just said I'm on a parasite cleanse and today is my last day. Power to that. I say to that, right? That's what I'm talking about, right? Where
Aw.
Dream and I already know in March at the spring equinox, we're also going to be doing a parasite cleanse. So we need to be able to forecast the work that we're doing, right? We need to be able to prepare ourselves spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. That's why I'm talking about it now, right? I'm already talking about it now. I'm not going to wait till March 1st to say, okay, this is what I'm doing for the month of March. I got to know in my mind and heart for the month of March, I'm focusing on my mantras. I'm focusing on my movement, focusing on my meditation. That's my month of March, dedicated to it. This is the plan. I think a lot of times on our spiritual path, we're too much in the feminine, right? On the spiritual path, we're too much in the feminine of, I'll just know what to do and I got to do it and da 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 da. But, we are both masculine and feminine at the same time, and you need both. And so a part of bringing the masculine into the work is to be able to say, all right, I'm disciplining myself to do this for this month, and I'm getting out ahead of it so that when I get to it, I already know what I'm doing, and I'm not like seeking and searching and I'm all on YouTube and I'm trying to do this or I'm trying to do that, right? So like, but what I will tell y'all is that doing work like that, man, because at the end of the day, this teacher is like, this kid is like holding this teacher's hand. Like, what's going on here? Ooh, I just see like this teacher like holding this kid's hand. Clearly, the kid must be some sort of special needs, maybe. And he is just acting up. And they trying to figure out how to control him. Craziness. He is laying on the floor now, y'all. And they're literally trying to like pull. I mean, you just never know what you're going to see out here in these streets. Now, one teacher on one side, one teacher on the other side. Wow. And he's literally like trying to get out from under them. Oh God. See, when I see stuff like that, I don't be knowing what to think. I be like asking myself like, and is this the father coming? I hope this the father. Hopefully he about to get on them. Okay, this the father coming. I be asking myself, are these children really suffering from some sort of mental illness, right? Or not mental illness. I don't want to say mental illness, right? Because that coming from the mental health perspective. Are these children actually suffering from some sort of real disability, or is this an emotional outburst? I don't know. But it's very interesting to observe. Anyways, I wish them well. I wish them well. I hope whatever's going on that they figure it out. Anyways, y'all. So yeah, you gotta forecast, you gotta project what type of work you want to do. Cause let me tell y'all something that's so good and why we do this. The reason why I go ahead and give myself a challenge every month is because I would rather create the challenge for myself than for spirit to be like, oh, you ain't doing no work. Then for spirit to be like, girl, how and when are you going to start focusing on your inner world, your growth, your evolution, right? Spirit be like, okay, you're not doing your work. Let me force you to do something. Let me force you to meditate. Let me force you to take care of your body. Like, we don't want to experience our growth from a place and a space that feels like we're being forced because we're not willing to take action ourselves. And that's the thing. We don't want to make it to where our external reality is forcing us to do a certain level of spiritual work. We want to be able to say, you know what? I'm going to discipline myself to do this. I'm going to focus on this for a little while and watch what happens. It's always such a beautiful and fruitful thing to have some discipline. Let me see what y'all are saying here. I'm Infinite Being. I bought 4 hand mirrors to keep at my job, my car, my home, so I can speak affirmation in the mirror to myself every day. I made sure I have one everywhere I be so I can make sure I get it in. Exactly. That's the work that I'm talking about. Right? And that's what it is, to where we gotta set ourselves up to be successful. We gotta set ourselves up to be successful. So you're setting yourself up to actually win in that space and in that place. And I love that. I love that for you. I love that for us. Like, that's just what we got to do, you know? I and you want to know something so funny, y'all, is that spirit already be giving us the downloads about what we need to do. We just be, I don't know, so in automation. We just be so focused on their survival. And that's a whole nother thing, right? We got to get out of the survival and get into the thriving, right? We be so in the survival that we don't see the gifts that spirit has been giving us. So like for me, for example, I have all of these alarms set on my phone. I got an alarm for 6:30, right? I got an alarm for 6:30 in the morning. I got an alarm for like 7:25. I got an alarm for 10 a.m. I got an alarm for 12. I got an alarm for 3:30, which that 3:30 alarm is about to go off soon. I have an alarm for all of these times.
We can go.
No, we still gotta wait. We don't have your siblings yet. They not even in the car yet. How you trying to go somewhere? Say hi to the people on the phone. Say hi. Hi. So I got all of these alarms, and when I was kind of meditating on this, and I was like, okay, Spirit, what do I need to be doing that's going to support my growth or whatever? Spirit was like, why don't you use those alarms that be happening on your phone every damn day, that you literally just be like, okay, whatever, turn the alarm off. Because who knows why I set the alarm? Like, one of the alarms is set because I'm like, all right, this is the time that we need to make sure that we've left the house to pick the kids up from school. Okay, this alarm is the time that I need to leave the house to get to the library on time for when I take Kimmy and Kai. Okay, this is alarm for when I need to switch task or something that I'm doing. So I got all of these alarms, and Spirit was like, why don't you use those alarms as a reminder for prayer and meditation? Right? Because think about it. The people of the Muslim faith, they are meditating and praying at the same time every day. And that's what makes it so powerful. What there, man, that's so good. There is so much power. You want me to hurry up and get off the phone? Yeah, okay. There is so much power in routine, right? Because think about this. This is why it's so powerful to try to do the same thing every day at the same time, which is why I've been using my alarms for moments of affirmation, prayer, and just taking a moment to take a breath and tune into myself. The reason why it's so powerful is because the more often you do something at the same time, the more the energy at that time is condensed for whatever you set the tone for. So if I set the tone that at 12 o'clock, this is my prayer time, if I do that every day, 12 o'clock naturally becomes a time of spiritual power, intercession, being able to connect with this sacred energy, because literally I've done it at the same time every day. So now at that time, it's like the atmosphere is already set. Before I even stop the alarm and start to say whatever I say, because I've done it so much at this time, the environment, the spiritual environment, has already been cultivated for me to be able to tap in. So that's beautiful and that's powerful. And I just feel like this is a great time before we even get into the spring equinox. Right now, we got a month, right? Shout out to Spirit, because I didn't even try to plan this video like that. I literally just was like, okay, I'm about to be in this line. Let me just make this video. Let me just go ahead and say this so people can start preparing, right? Especially because I didn't go live yesterday. But I'm just like, it's the 21st. The equinox usually happens on the 21st or the 22nd of March. So we got a month of planning and preparing and asking ourselves, okay, How do I want to set myself up to have the real new year, the real springing forward and the rebirth that I desire? What things, how can I discipline myself right now to where when the 21st, the 22nd, 23rd, whenever that time gets here, I'm literally springing forward. But not just springing forward in that moment, right? Just for those days of the equinox, but how do I set myself up to be aligned with the will of God for the entire year, right? And I'm telling y'all, like, go back and look through your pictures in your phone. This is something that I always do. And a lot of times people think I'm crazy. They're like, girl, why are you looking at the past? Well, because we learn a lot from the past. When we look at our past pictures and we say, what was I doing last March? What was I doing last February? What was I doing last April? You can see where you've come from and where you're going. And you don't necessarily want this February to look like last year's February, right? So, like for us, February 2024, Kai was a few months old. We didn't do nothing for Valentine's Day. You want to do what, Kimmy? Your friends?
Yeah.
Oh, look, I see your brother. I see your brother. He just walked to the front. I see him. We about to get him. You about to get your siblings. So, like, last February, y'all, I went and checked. Dream and I was on our little Valentine's Day date, which was so nice, right? And I'm like, ooh, we need more of this. So we were on our little Valentine's Day date. And we were asking ourselves, what did we do last year for Valentine's Day? I went back to my phone, February 15th, February 14th. I'm looking through the dates. I saw nothing. I was like, oh shit, babe, we didn't do nothing last year, which is understandable because we had like a 4 month old, 3 month old, or something like that. So, and it was probably cold outside. We had to be taking care of our kids. But this year, oh, we set it off. We did everything that our hearts desire. Shit, next February, Valentine's Day, I know it's just Valentine's Day, but I'm trying to be on a beach somewhere in the Caribbean. It just is what it is. And so the only way that we allow that to happen in our lives is if we plan, we prepare, and we do the work to unlock that. Okay? That's the only way that that gets to happen. So we got to stop just going with the flow in our spiritual practice and our spiritual work. And trust me, there's still flow that happens within that. So, like last year when I said I fasted every month, don't turn off car. Last year when I said I fasted every month, some of my fasts, literally the first 3 days of the month, no food. But then some of the months I didn't really feel that energy or that call. So I would go, let's say 3 days, no social media at all. And some of you may think, oh, that sounds so small. That sounds so simple. But it's simple stuff like that, simple sacrifices like that really make the difference. Okay? It'd be simple sacrifices like that will set you up to have the year or the month or the season, that you desire to have. Last February, I was recovering from an accident, mad and in a sad space, but now I'm finally taking a birthday time off and enjoy life. Yay, Jenny. I didn't know your birthday was in February. Happy birthday, girl. And yeah, that's right. That's why you got to reflect. Look at how much you've grown. And then also analyze the work that you've done. Analyze March, you're a March baby. Yay. Our baby's a March baby as well. But analyze the work that you've done to unlock that level, this new level of being for yourself, this joy for yourself, this wholeness for yourself, this celebration of yourself. You've had to do things to be able to get there. And I think a lot of times we go year after year after year. This is so crazy. We go year after year after year having the same exact year. Yes, it's 2025, but your 2025 looks just like 2024. And that's what we don't want our lives to be. So, do what I'm telling you to do. Project into the future some level of work that you're going to do every month, whether it's fasting, meditating, exercising, all of the above. Do everything in your power that you can do to create a space for wholeness, to create a space for growth. Because in your growth, comes greater manifestations. Okay. Now my big babies are getting in the car, so I guess I may let them come on and say, hey, hi, babes. Hurry, hurry, get in here.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hi, thank you.
Welcome. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, you too. Y'all put your seatbelts on.
Okay, Daddy.
So, yeah, they're so surprised to see me because I'm never the one that picks them up. Their dad is always the one that picks them up. And I'm just using Dream's technology here. He got this phone holder, y'all. He got this phone holder maybe a year ago for the car and has never used it. See how he exactly what? Like, why has he never used it, but he bought it a year ago? Why do I have to use it first? And I bet after I use it, now he gonna use it, even though he bought it for himself.
Even know that.
Yeah, he bought it for himself, but
Yeah,
I'm
why
gonna end
would
up
he
being the one.
even use it? That's like very handy dandy.
That is very handy dandy. I don't know why he did not use it. I really want some Valentine's Day chocolate. I got some cash today. Should we go get some?
Yeah.
Ooh. Your friends are your siblings right here behind you. These are your friends.
Oh, you wanna see Tony? Wait,
Anyway,
Mommy, let me guess. Is Kai at home?
Kai is absolutely at home with your daddy because your daddy was sleepy. He didn't want to fall asleep in the car rider line. I would take y'all to go get chocolate, but I don't feel like getting all y'all out the car. So I'm gonna go get chocolate by myself and then share it with y'all. How's that sound?
Good. Yeah, good. But that food, I liked it.
You like the Starbucks grilled cheese?
No.
Oh, you were the one that got the wrong sandwich.
I told
Kim Cara.
Daddy I don't want it.
So you took his sandwich. He was wanting that sandwich. Yo, we having a whole conversation.
Kevin gave it to me. I didn't know.
Well, one of y'all did something. One of y'all took y'all daddy's sandwich, and he was disappointed about that. Anyways, y'all, stay on the lookout because we're gonna talk about this more. I'm gonna do a whole separate video where I kind of go a little bit more into detail about what, Kimmy. Girl, I don't know what Tony is at, right? So y'all stay on the lookout. I'm gonna do another video where I go more into detail on this, and we're gonna be doing some spring readings. I'm super excited about that. Um, yeah, I just wanted to get y'all thinking about it. I know some of y'all are already in that space. You're already having thoughts about it. You're already on that frequency. Think about it a little bit deeper. Like, what can you do leading up to the spring equinox that will really set you up to have a new year where you feel like how you're supposed to feel and you be who you're meant to be. All right.
Mommy.
I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.